What's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you were here to join us. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Today, Monday, the 16th of March, 2026. And let's do another sports productive conversation. This reacting to March Madness. The selection Sunday was yesterday. Our 68 team bracket is set for the men's Division I college basketball national championship. One of the best times of the year. And let's go through each of the brackets, the East, West, South, and Midwest. Going to pick a favorite, a sleeper, and a first round upset. From there, we'll pick a Final Four, and that will be our Final Four prediction for the 2026 March Madness tournament. Then we'll look at some free agency moves made in the NFL after free agency began last week. And then let's react to the Players' Championship in golf, low key the true start of the golf season. So before we do all of that and have that productive conversation, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding this show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at Twitter, Prod Convo Pod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. TikTok at Prod Convo Pod. And also check us out on all podcast platforms and YouTube. So also available on Sunday, we released our weekly NBA show. Me and Faces discussed more things regarding the NBA as we inch closer to the postseason. The MVP race, what's going on, like with some sleeper teams that might make a push, like the Lakers, for instance. All of that. Maybe they should. We talked if they should shorten the regular season. A solid convo there, and then we have available on Tuesday the what happened over the weekend, the tweet cap. What happened over the weekend? We'll talk about what was trending over the weekend and our reaction to the Oscars that took place. Good stuff, Michael B. Jordan, right there. So we have that reaction going on, and then other show on Friday as we talk about what is trending in the week ahead. So busy week, but lots of fun stuff ahead, most of all. So let's get to it. Let's have a discussion regarding what's going on in the world of sports. Specifically, let's talk some March Madness. Selection Sunday took place on, Sunday. And the bracket is set for both the men's and women's college basketball tournaments, focusing on the men's side for this one. Very interesting race to the top and a very intriguing very intriguing tournament, if you ask me. Maybe some regions have more stacked teams than others. Like the East region is very, very talented. But regardless, anything can happen in March Madness. That's what makes this tournament so grand, so much fun to watch. On Thursday, this whole country will focus on that. Hopefully, nothing crazy happens in the world to distract us. But it's nice. You have your offices pay attention to these games. You're filling out your brackets. You're trying to win your pools and all of that. For what it's worth, I won my tournament last year. I won March Madness, helping somebody there special, and we won that. So let's try to win again this year. And we didn't talk much about college basketball this season, but we still paid attention to it. You know, we wagered on games. We saw the insane talent pool this March Madness tournament has. There's a lot of teams there's a lot of players from this tournament we will see in the NBA and make an impact in the NBA. So with that, let's make our picks. Let's go through the regions as I mentioned. This is how we're going to do it this year. We're going to break up the regions, talk a favorite in the region, a sleeper team, and a first round bye. So go through the four regions, make our final four picks, and then we'll take it from there. So first things first, let's look at the East region, probably the stacked region, the team that has the most talent. My favorite, your number one overall seed in the country, the 32-2 Duke Blue Devils. Their number one seed, great on defense. You have NBA talent level throughout, including Cameron Boozer, who might be a first overall pick. Very good from the three, especially. And this team is somebody to pay attention to. I really think this Duke Blue Devils team can make a run. The first this is probably the best team Duke has had since Coach K left, and they are going to be the real deal in this tournament. Watch out for the Duke Blue Devils. A school that is very interesting from this East region as well, is Louisville Cardinals, a storied program, a program that's had its up and downs over the past 15 years, but this looks like the best team since Rick Pitino led them to the title. Then they had that controversy, and the title was taken away. But we'll see what this new team, a veteran team who was great in the ACC this past season, and they are a very fast team, scoring bunches. They are a team that that could be streaky, but I do think this is a team to watch out for here in the East region. A very good Louisville team that is stacked with veteran players. And I expect them to be making the Sweet 16. I would not be surprised even if they made it to the Elite Eight. And the first round upset. Who do you think will be the first round upset? Well, if you're asking me coming out of the East, I like number 12 ranked Akron over number 5 Texas Tech. It's very common to see the 12 seed upset the 5 seed. I feel that at least happens once a year in some region. And Akron, who has been very good down the stretch, and Texas Tech, who is losing their best player in JT Toppin with the torn ACL. I think that is going to be a upset to watch out for, basically because Texas Tech is injured and Akron has been very hot down the stretch. So give me 12 ranked Akron over number 5 ranked Texas Tech. East region again. Your favor, you have the Duke Blue Devils. You have the Louisville I believe will make a run. They'll be a sleeper team. And then you will have number 12th ranked Akron upsetting number 5 ranked Texas Tech. So moving on to the South region. Also a very good region coming in this tournament. My favorite coming out of this part of the bracket is your Florida Gators. Give me the SEC champion, the reigning champion in this tournament, a strong team that scores, a team that really scores on transition as well. They're always prepared, always ready to make a move. And I think there's a good chance that they could make another deep run. Will they be repeat champions like they were with Billy Napier? Maybe. But this is a very good Florida Gators team to look out for. And even with some of their best players go into the next level, they've been very consistent in the SEC this season. A sleeper team, a 3rd seed overall here in the South region. I'm really intrigued by the Illinois Fighting Illini. They're a big team. They have a size advantage in this tournament. They've been very interesting in the Big Ten this year. Watch out for the Illinois Fighting Illini this season, who I think can make a deep impact. I wouldn't be surprised if you get them to go as far as the Elite Eight. So the Illinois Fighting Illini right there. And who is your first round upset for this region? I really like Texas A&M, the 10th seeded Texas A&M upsetting a 7th seed St. Mary's team. Texas A&M, one of the high scoring schools in the nation, averaging about 87 points a game. And St. Mary's, who is more of a defensive minded team, I think this will be a matter of a war of attrition where the Texas A&M Aggies are going to be just hard to keep up with, and they're going to score an insane amount of points in the first round, maybe the first 2 rounds. And watch out for Texas A&M making a run to the Sweet 16. So that will be my upset here in this region. So let's look at the West region. All right. A team that I'm really intrigued, a team that's probably my favorite spoiler into this tournament. Number 1 seeded Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats. They were very dominant in the Big 12 this season. Number 1 in their region. A very strong front court. And very athletic, and they're a very athletic team as well. One of the best transition teams in the country. And a team that is also very healthy with lots of experience. And Arizona has been disappointing in the last few tournaments. It's been a while since they made the Sweet 16. I'm ready to see this Arizona team make a run in this tournament, a deep run. Like when Virginia lost to UMBC, this would be 8 years ago. Next season, actually win the whole thing before COVID. I have similar vibes with this Arizona team right here. A team that I think will be a sleeper in this region, a team that I'm very intrigued to watch. I like number 3 Gonzaga. Always these Mark Fay teams have been very hard to beat. They have a lot of experience and are very elite on the offensive side. And they always make a impact in March. And watch them again make another one. Watch this team make it to the Sweet 16. And a team that I'm intrigued to see as a first round upset. While I think this Hawaii number 13th ranked Hawaii team is a really good team that might push this John Calipari Arkansas team, I'm going to give Missouri, who's ranked 10th in this region, to upset number 7 ranked Miami. And Miami looked very bad in their conference tournament. Missouri will be at home essentially. They'll have the home court advantage as this region's in St. Louis. They have a very good front court. And yeah, I just think Miami just looks so bad in the ACC tournament that some may even question why they're here. So give me the 10th ranked Missouri team to upset Miami. So West Region again. Your upset will be Missouri. Your sleeper will be Gonzaga. Your favorite will be Arizona, and I forgot to say it for the South region. I apologize. Where we have Texas A&M doing the upset in the South region. The sleeper is Illinois. Your favorite is Florida, the Florida Gators. And the Midwest region, a team that another region I'm intrigued by. I think your favorite coming out here is the Michigan Wolverines. They have been great all season long. I believe second in the nation, elite shooting team, very efficient on offense. And if they could get hot from the 3, that team will be hard to beat. A offensive juggernaut in Michigan getting back to form. Your favorite coming out of the Midwest region. The sleeper, if you ask me, which is the sleeper team, if you ask me, from this region. They're very low on the totem pole, but the 7th ranked Kentucky team has had some moments here in the SEC that I've been really intrigued by. Watches some of their games. I think this team that can shoot well that are really good on defense. I wouldn't be surprised if you see this Kentucky team even ranked as a 7th seed to make a little bit of a run. So that's my sleeper here in the Midwest region. And the first round upset, as long as they win the play-in game, Miami of Ohio has been the most interesting team in all college basketball. Went undefeated in the regular season. Yes, lost in the MAC conference championship tournament. But I think this team, again, this is as long as they don't lose to SMU in the play-in, I think that they have a solid chance against Tennessee and make a bit of a run. And if this team that has been so consistent all season long, and some people may question whether or not that they are, legit because of where they play, this team still won 33 straight games. And I think it would be such a big win for that program if they can wind up in the if you could see them in the Sweet 16. So Midwest region, your favorite is the Michigan Wolverines. Your sleeper is the Kentucky Wildcats. Your first round upset is, as long as they win the play-in tournament, give me the University of Miami of Ohio upsetting Tennessee, 11 seed over a 6 seed. So let's bring it up. Let's get this to a head. Your final 4 teams, I believe, coming out. Let me make this so I wrote this down. Let me get my notes. Your final 4 team, the 1 ranked from the East region, the number 1 seeded Duke Blue Devils will be in the final 4. From the South, I like Houston coming from the South region. They are 2 seed. A 1 seed in Arizona from the West, and a 1 seed from Michigan in the Midwest. So three number 1 seeds and a 2. That'll be your final 4. I think it's Houston who will be making a I think it's going to be Houston who will be returning to the national championship. Just lost by 2 points last against Florida, and that team is mostly still intact and always been a problem in this era. And then from the West, and then when we have the West versus the Midwest, Arizona versus Michigan, I like Arizona's chances here. That'll give us a Houston versus Arizona national championship. And I think your national champion will be Arizona. That's my favorite in this tournament. A team that has been great in the Big 12 all season long, and I think the veteran presence will allow Arizona to be the champion once again, and Houston falling short in the national championship. So your final 4 again for productive conversations from the East region: Duke, South region: Houston, West region: Arizona, Midwest: Michigan. Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan, a Houston and Arizona national championship. Arizona coming out on top. So that's what we have for our preview for the March Madness tournament in 2026. Just a few more things before we go. Just a quick glance at the NFL free agency period that began last week. While I think there have been more juicier things in the free agency period, you still saw a lot of big significant moves in the NFL. First thing to point out, the fact that Max Crosby wound up failing this physical and he will not be a Baltimore Raven. He's going to go with the rebuilding Raiders team and watch that be a better situation. They've actually made some solid moves on their offensive line and their defense clearly, I think, and we'll see if Fernando Mendoza can hang in the NFL. But I like their chances in the AFC West, especially if Kansas City is a little slow coming out with the returning but injured Patrick Mahomes. But I mean, they had Kenneth Walker. That nobody saw that one coming. They put Justin Fields as the backup quarterback too. So Kansas City making some move, both letting good players go with the more expensive aging players, but they had a veteran running back, no doubt the best running back by skill that they've had in a few years. And if Walker will definitely enhance that offense. I'm sure with the returning Kelsey too, that the Kansas City Chiefs will get. I mean, we can't be surprised if they get back to normal, make a deep run after a year off, and adding Kenneth Walker to the mix will be huge. And they bring Isaiah Pacheco. They send him out. He will be playing in Detroit after Monty leaves. So it's going to be a Pacheco and Gibbs combo. That'll be interesting for sure. Some of the other interesting moves, the Jets bring in Geno Smith once again. Clearly a bridge quarterback. We'll see what they do in the draft when we get closer to that in a month. We'll predict whether or not they actually draft one of these quarterbacks. Seems Ty Simpson from Alabama is a favorite there. But again, I mean, if Geno Smith can make this redemption one more time, definitely left New York in a bad spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make some big moves there. I'm intrigued by Mike Evans going to San Francisco, a 3-year, $60 million deal, who clearly, as long as he stays healthy, is a huge factor. When the 49ers had making these deep runs with these wide receivers that there hasn't been a mainstays or a true number one. They've had good players in Debo and Ayuk, but they leave their team going in and out. And this team made it to the NFL playoffs with Juwan Jennings as a number one. But now you have a true number one in Mike Evans, who clearly still has something left. Big move for San Francisco. Into the quarterback positions, Kyler Murray goes to Minnesota. And the big thing about Kyler Murray, he can play, but people have questioned his motivation and whether he watches film or not and his size. But if the experiment works, Kevin O'Connell, who's known to turn these quarterbacks into pretty solid players, is Kyler Murray the one? He definitely has the skill to, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make a push, but I think this will be a good thing going. And the other quarterback, Malik Willis, going to Miami, a 3-year, $67.5 million contract. Malik Willis finally gets a team of his own. Reckon a Dolphins team that definitely, definitely is not going to win a lot of games this year. But if Malik Willis could prove what he's done as an impact player as a backup position coming in with a new team like the Green Bay, who knows? Maybe he is a mainstay for the Dolphins. So Malik Willis to Miami is another one that I like. Tua Tagovailoa go to Atlanta. Weirdest move of this offseason. Not a good move if you ask me. No Kirk. They gave up on Kirk Cousins. Michael Penix Jr. has been in and out with injuries, and when he's played, he hasn't really been the player that they hoped. Especially me, I would have had a lot of stock in him, and that's looking bad. But having Tua in, who's had major injury problems himself, very weird mood for Atlanta on that one, and I think that's going to cause them to take a step back. And then Travis Etienne go to New Orleans. That team, they're going to go Tyler Shuck. And a team that still has a solid football mind, Kellen Moore leading the bunch. A team that got some solids towards the end. I still think ETN is still a good running back in this league. So him going for 4 year on a 4-year, $52 million deal is going to be a very positive one for New Orleans coming into this. And then just wrap it up with the Players' Championship in golf. And Cameron, the Players' Championship, low key, the fifth major, the real start of the golf season, is Cameron Young, who gets the big win, and good stuff for him there. Big moment I felt for Cameron Young, paying attention to the tournament all weekend long, and I was very intrigued by the pressure he was under and making a run towards the end, and he pulls it off. So good stuff for Cameron Young on that one. And it was the 17th hole, which is the one that made the big roll. And we saw Cameron Young birdie that hole late, and that pretty much set up the momentum for the rest of the tournament. And we've had players who were coming in and out. No more Kara, he was injured. Rory with the back problems that hindered his play. But as we get closer to the Masters, and we see some new stars coming in and some left players coming to the PGA, it was nice seeing a PGA member of their own and Cameron Young get the big win. So congratulations to Cameron Young on that one. But with that, that'll complete our sports productive conversation for today. Well, again, we have our March Madness preview done. Your Final Four one more time: Duke, Arizona, Houston, and Michigan, with Arizona winning the national championship. Looked at some moves with free agency, and especially with the new quarterback play we're going to be seeing, and some big moves made specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Oh, and I'm happy Isaiah Likely going to the Giants. Hopefully, we've seen Isaiah Likely made some bad drops, but in big pressurized moments. But if he is this elite offensive tight end, hopefully he has stopped with those butterfingers of his. So we got that. Me intrigued by Cameron Young winning the Players' Championship. And that will complete our productive conversation in the sports world today for this week. So back at it. We will see you on Tuesday with a brand new tweet cap, talk about what was trending over the past weekend. And then we will meet again on Tuesday, and we will meet again on Friday to talk about what was trending in the week ahead, a tweet cap for what happened this week. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. I'll see you all very soon. All the love. Peace.